Greetings to each and every one of y'all. Thank you for tuning in today. Special greetings to the 32,510 of you all who have hit that subscribe button and helped me hit my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of April. I thank each and every one of y'all for tapping in today. Hit that like button, jump into the best live chat on the internet. We got a great show, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's go. Muted. Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. This is going to be a special members only live stream because you all are the backbone of the channel. You all help the channel grow. You all add commentary and all that kind of good stuff like that, and positively have been a blessing to this channel. So I said, let's just do a members only live stream. And I need to get back to the members only Q&A. Maybe we'll do a Q&A afterwards. How about that? So I want to talk about this Colton Moore situation. Now, you might not have heard. You might say, Jason, well, who's Colton Moore? What's going on with this Colton Moore? Who's that guy? All right. So on Thursday, let me bring this in and we'll talk about it very quickly. This will give you a good roundabout understanding of what happened with Colton Moore. It's such a weird story, man. Some of the stuff that we do, we kind of deserve the havoc that we get, because this right here, this story is kind of bad. All right, let's bring it in. Let's go. One in the chat when you can hear. Let's go.
Welcome back. Today, the Speaker of the Georgia House announcing he would no longer bar a state senator who was arrested yesterday from entering the House chamber.
11 Alive's Doug Richards was on hand for this arrest. He's joining us live now from the Capitol. So, Doug, the big question here is, what is next for this state senator? Is he back to work?
Yes, he's back to work in a capacity after, this sort of low-grade drama where you had two individuals with conflicting viewpoints and a public stage, and it all kind of played out yesterday in this speech prior to Brian Kemp's speech, the State of the State speech. And Colton Moore showed back up today defending what he did. When state senators strode up to the House chamber for the governor's State of the State address Thursday, Colton Moore of Dade County was near the front of the line. When he got to the door of the chamber, House staffers were there to prevent Moore from coming in, starting an awkward standoff lasting nearly 5 minutes.
This is a joint session of the General Assembly. Your House rules do not apply. I'm going into the chamber.
The Republican senator had been banished from the chamber by the Republican House Speaker, John Burns. Last year, when lawmakers unveiled a portrait of the late Speaker, Republican David Ralston, Moore publicly badmouthed Ralston, angering Burns, who had been a Ralston protege. Moore made a noisy issue of his banishment Thursday, getting thrown to the floor by a House staffer and eventually getting handcuffed by state troopers. That led to a trip toward a waiting patrol car.
But it is apparent to me that Georgia is nothing but a tyrant.
A day after the senator's visit to the Fulton County Jail, Moore was back, ready to sound off about his treatment.
How can an attorney of the Speaker of the House do some wrestling move, throw the senator onto the ground, and the senator gets arrested with 18 state troopers standing there?
And Moore got some backup from some of his fellow Republicans.
This unprecedented action undermines the integrity of our legislative process and sets a dangerous and unconstitutional precedent.
Some, but not all.
Certain people use this as theater. I'm not here for that.
Burns tried to put the issue to bed by saying in a statement that he had talked with David Ralston's family, which was agreeable to allowing more to end to allowing Burns to end the banishment of Moore. And that seems to settle it. If you come away from this with anything, you now know there's a word: tyrancy. We are live at the Capitol tonight. Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right. So that is what happened. That's the background of the whole scuffle that happened on Thursday before the Georgia State of the State address. I'm a little bit confused. I almost want to go back and find out, what did he say about the gentleman that passed away? It seemed like a lot, but to me, it's all theater. And I do think the security guards do need to work on their judo flips, because that could have been a really good judo flip, like flipped them over, head over heels. That'd have been great, actually. It just seems like it seems. I understand there's a time and a place, so I'm not trying to say that there's never a time and a place. It just seemed, in this regard, like kind of petty on everybody's regard. The exiling him, I'm going to go in, because you see him trying to sneak in. When I show you the full video of him, by the way, I will show the full scuffle, the whole 5 minutes, right? Him trying to sneak in. You can tell he's trying to sneak by, and like, I know they don't see me. I know they don't see me. He already knew it was going to go south. He knew it. But the other question you might be asking is, where's Fani in this? Like, what, Jason? I see Fani on the thumbnail. Are you clickbaiting me? What, like, where's Fani in this regard? Like, how does this matter at all to Fani? Great question. I'm glad you asked. And guess what? I'm gonna tell you. So I appreciate it. Let's do this real quick. Here is the tie between Mr. Moore and Fani Willis. It's a little bit old, but I think you'll enjoy it nonetheless. Let's go. Bring it back in, Jason. Let's go.
My next guest is a Georgia state senator who is calling for a special session to investigate Fulton County DA Fani Willis. She will put Trump and 18 others on
I bet you know who it is. I bet you know who it is without even seeing it. I bet you know.
trial before the next election. We're joined now by Colton Moore. Senator, why are you calling to investigate DA Willis?
Stuart, I woke up after the indictments and I felt like I had a hair in my biscuit. I said, this is disgusting. My goodness, we have a district attorney who is using taxpayer funds to make political prisoners. You see, my hardworking constituents, they pay taxes into the state of Georgia, and money is going to fund this district attorney. Let us not forget, it took 19 days to certify the election results in Georgia. And Donald Trump and these 18 others, they were simply using their First Amendment right to question the integrity of the election. Some of these charges have nothing to do with nothing more than a tweet. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's why I'm calling this special session, because we have to take action now. Enough of the Facebook and the Twitter posts. But it's all about taking action.
But you say take action. What action?
Yeah.
What would you have to show? What would you have to show that she's done that will be actionable?
Well, first off, these are novel charges, right? You know, anybody that's went to law school, if you're going to be a prosecutor and you're going to make an indictment, you should be able to read the indictment while running and understand it. But this indictment is so off the walls. We're in uncharted territory with these types of charges. It's absolute nonsense, political persecution. But my job as a legislator is to put a check and balance on that. And we have the power of the purse. We have the power to investigate and oversight. So I'm all about, let's have this investigation. And when the corruption is shown, it's time to impeach her.
Would that mean stopping the trial? There would be no trial if you're successful?
Well, it's going to be a slow process, it appears, to get this special session, because all of these Republicans are asleep at the wheel. But at the same token, it's waking Georgians up to the fact that their taxpayer money is going to fund this. It's a brewing momentum here in the state. People are, frankly, they're worried to speak out against her because it's Gestapo tactics that she's using. There's apparently going to be a second round of indictments. This is complete tyranny here in Georgia today.
Do you think he would get a fair trial if the trial proceeds?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look at Fulton County. The ACLU is reporting that half of the inmates in that jail have yet to be charged with a crime. Then we've got rapper Young Thug, who's been in Von Door jury selection now for a year. But yet
So we
she
know how
goes
low
to the
this is.
podium and says that, well, in 6 months, she's going to have these in jail. I mean, think about all those attorneys that are going to be in that room, all raising their hand to make a motion at the same time.
Yeah, that's
not possible.
That's a circus, and it's impossible. Colton Moore, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, so that's where they get their background. That's Fani and Colton Moore's background, is that Colton was one of the main people pushing for an investigation. And you know this is before Young Thug's actual trial began. So we know how old this is, how long ago they've been pushing for this, because this is when they were still doing jury selection. So it's been a hot minute. So he's been a staunch person calling for an investigation into Fani Willis, into the spending, into what's been going on, and so on and so forth and the like. And so now we got this scuffle. All right, with no further ado, let me bring this video in so y'all can see the scuffle, the rumble under the dome. Let's get it on. Let's go. All right, this is the full rumble under the dome. I'm gonna bring it on, and I'll just let it play. I'm not gonna add a lot of commentary because I just think it's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. My little 2 cents. Here we go. Let's go. They should have worked on a judo flip.
This is the people's house. This is the people's chamber.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Why can't he go in?
Officers, this man should be arrested. I have a constitutional obligation to be in this room under 1611-34.1. This man should be arrested for breaking the law. We all upheld our hand and swore an oath to the Constitution.
Look at that black woman right there. She's like, wait, what's going on? Flip phone activated.
Your house rules do not apply.
Oops, danger.
I'm going into the chamber.
Danger.
Y'all come on in.
Y'all can come in, but you can't.
What a high school silly mess.
All right, where's that judo flip? Come on now, let's see.
What's your name, sir? Because you now involved.
My name is Major Lake. All I said is don't come with me. I'm trying to get these other senators in, sir.
Are you preventing me from entering the chamber?
You have to watch this.
Trooper agrees. The doorkeepers are stopping. Which means you have broken 1611-34.1.
You know that number. All because he said something bad about somebody's mentor.
Trooper, you don't have to give it away. You're breaking the law too.
I wonder if I can sneak in there.
Is that all the senators now?
Yes, sir.
I'm a senator from Whitaker Park.
He does not come past this door.
Uh-oh, where's the judo flip? There it is. Ah! Oh, man down.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room. I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who
200,000?
duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. Unconstitutional. You have no respect for the Constitution. Complete disrespect to the Constitution. Major Langford, I have a constitutional obligation to be there.
This has gone too far.
So you're preventing me from entering. Sir, the doorkeeper has no authority.
There's a lot of troopers,
As a
man.
senator of a joint session, I have more authority than the doorkeeper of the House. Sir, I've not caused a disturbance. I need to be let in.
You're free to stand out here.
Gentlemen, I'm allowed in. Let me in. You're not allowed in the House chambers.
Man, this is craziness.
Can y'all back up, please? Can y'all back up, please?
All right, so that was a scuffle under the dome, the rumble under the dome, the scuffle on Peachtree Street, the hands in Midtown. No, it wasn't Midtown, it was actually downtown. Anyway, yeah, that was wild, man. Oh, I just hate, man, when we make ourselves look so silly. It just makes Georgia look so silly, man. Good gracious. But let me know what y'all think about it. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying it was a setup. I'm sure they probably knew the dude was going to come. If he was, I don't know when he was exiled, what day he was exiled from the chamber, and had he been coming before, but now this joint session, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it does seem like a setup. I agree with y'all. 100% agree. They say push the cops. Yeah, that's just bogus, man. That's and for what? For what reason though? There's no reason for it. There's nothing that came out of that good. Nothing. On either side, let's just tell the truth, right? Nothing really came out of it. And I'm not even understanding, not trying to say that he should not go, but what does him sitting in the chamber, how does that represent his constituents? I'm just asking a question. Because again, I'm averse to going to jail. And he went to Rice Street. So look, I'm averse to that kind of shenanigans, my guys. So what was the purpose of him sitting in the chamber or not sitting in the chamber? How was he not representing his people? He wasn't saying it, unless I'm missing something. And maybe he was. That he was supposed to say something, or he had an opportunity to speak, or give closing remarks. Okay, maybe then. But if he's just sitting there as an audience to sit and watch Governor Kemp give the State of the State address, I don't think pushing and shoving, I don't think that was push and shove worthy, in my opinion. But that's just my little 2 cents. I just said I'd check it out. So appreciate y'all so much for this. And let's close this part out of the show.